So it's already the end of March, and that means only one thing. It is time to check on my goals. My first YouTube video was me making my 5 goals for the year. And I said I would come every 3 months to check on my goals to see how I'm doing. So let's go. A little refresher if you didn't watch my first ever YouTube video, but I have 5 simple goals for myself for the year of 2025. And the first goal is to post 1 YouTube video a week. My second goal is to learn a high income skill, and I chose marketing, Facebook marketing, learning Facebook ads. My third goal is to gain 10 pounds of muscle this year. My fourth goal is to save at least 200k this year. My fifth goal is to read 2 books, only 2 books, because honestly, I do not like reading. Okay, so what progress have I made this far? Before we get started, let's remember that every single goal you make needs to be SMART. And what does that mean? It needs to be specific to you. It needs to be measurable, so you need to know when you will actually achieve this goal. Also, it needs to be achievable. You do not want to set a goal that is impossible to achieve. You don't want to say, I want to lose 200 pounds in 2 months. I mean, who can do that? Nobody can do that. So you want to make sure that your goal is achievable, and you need to make sure that your goal is relevant to you. Do you care about this goal? Will you wake up every single day trying to achieve it? Will you be motivated to do it? So you need to make sure that this goal is relevant to you. Do not copy other people's goals. The goals need to be relevant to you. You need to care about this. You need to say every single day, I will get up and I will strive to achieve this goal. And finally, your goal needs to be time bound. You do not want to set a vague goal. You don't want to say, I want to lose weight. Okay, by when? When do you want to lose weight? How much weight do you want to lose? By when? Like, you could say, I want to lose weight. It could take you 10 years to lose 10 kgs. I mean, so you need to make sure that your goal is time bound. You want to lose 10 kgs by when? By June? By July? By December? How long will it take for you to achieve your goal? So these are the 5 things that I had in mind while I was setting my goals. And I believe you should do the same thing. Make sure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. All right, so my first goal is to post 1 YouTube video a week. And it was a little slow than the beginning, because in the first month of January, I literally did not post anything. Honestly, I was still learning, editing, which software to use. And to be fair, I was also a little scared and over analyzing things. But I think I've finally gotten into the stride of things. And for the month of January, while I did not post a single video, since February, I've been posting consistently every single week. And as you can see here, I do not have a deadline for this goal. So this goal is not time bound. This is something that I plan to do for as long as I can, for as long as I live. Because I do enjoy it, and I do have more ideas of what kind of content I would like to make. So I would honestly like to continue making a single YouTube video a week indefinitely. And I think so far, my progress, while it was a little shaky there in the beginning, I think is all right. I think I'm about 10% there. Maybe I will not hit a full 52 videos this year, but honestly, I've started and I'm getting the hang of it and I'm enjoying it. So I think I'm at 10% in terms of progress. So that's good. Ever since I started posting, I haven't missed a single post. So that's honestly a win in my books. When you set your goals, you will not always be perfect. So it's good to look for the small wins where you can. Okay, so post 1 YouTube video a week. It's kind of all right. I'm 10% there. So hopefully I can end the year with a 90% success rate. That's what I'm looking for. You don't have to be 100. You don't have to be so perfect at everything. So 90%, 80%, honestly, I'll be very happy with that. I'm more concerned with making improvements in my content. So 10%, honestly, not bad. All right, so my second goal of the year is to read 2 books in 2025. As I said before, I hate reading. And honestly, it's been tough for me to find time to actually start reading. I don't have that much free time in my day. I have a full-time job, I work out. I'm recording videos, I'm editing, I'm learning how to run Facebook ads. So it's been very hard for me to find time, and that is why I switched to audiobooks. And honestly, they have been a lifesaver. When I'm working out, doing cardio, I can just put on an audiobook and listen to the book instead of having to find free time to sit down and read. The first book I chose to read is Rich Dad Poor Dad, and honestly, I listened to the whole book and I finished it. It was a pretty good book. It was pretty enjoyable. I enjoyed actually listening to the book over reading. So I think I might maybe bump this up to more than 2 books. I need to find an audiobook service that I enjoy, that I'll pay for every month, and I'll just use to listen to audiobooks. Because I listened to this audiobook on YouTube for free, and honestly, I enjoyed it. So I'm about 50% there. So my initial goal was to just read 2 books this year, and I'm already halfway there. So this is definitely a surprise to me. I honestly thought it'd be a lot harder to keep this going, to actually read. But audiobooks have definitely saved me. So now I'm looking for a second book to read. I was also thinking of counting my learning in this, but I think it's just better for me to just, have self-help books instead of, because I'll do the learning either way. So I don't count that. So now I'm looking for a second book to read. But Rich Dad Poor Dad, honestly, it was a pretty good book. I enjoyed it. Some of the key takeaway lessons that I learned from this book is pay yourself first, increase your financial intelligence, and be a little more open-minded when it comes to business. Don't let fear control you. Invest, invest, invest. Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. So those are some of the key takeaways that I took from this book. And it was a pretty enjoyable book. Okay, so that's my second goal. I'm already halfway there, and I'm pretty surprised. But that's why we track everything. So I'm about 50% there. Now I'm looking for a second book. If you guys have any ideas of any other book I could read that would be enjoyable on the same level as Rich Dad Poor Dad, self-improvement, finance, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely interested. I'm looking for a second book to read or listen to. Not read, listen to. So drop it in the comments if you have any ideas. Alright, so my third goal of the year is to learn a high income skill. And I specifically chose digital marketing, Facebook ads. I specifically chose digital marketing because it would allow me to work anywhere in the world without hassle, without having to worry about being in an office the whole time. So that's why I chose digital marketing. Because advertising, I could do this anywhere. As long as I have a computer, I can just do it anywhere I want. So far I chose Meta Ads. So I did all of the modules in the media buying course, and now I am doing the study guide, preparing to take the test to become certified, to become a certified media buyer for Facebook. So my learning method was do all the modules and do the study guide. And I'm also supplementing with watching YouTube videos on how to successfully run an ads campaign. So right now I am currently on page 76 of the study guide. I'm learning about data sources, Metapixel, Conversions API, Facebook SDK, and how they can help us to actually improve our ad campaigns and ad performance. So that's what I'm doing now. If you don't know anything about running Facebook ads, that will sound like a bunch of gibberish to you. So that's where I am right now. And I think I'm doing pretty well in terms of the learning. I haven't applied anything yet. So I would put myself at around 30% there in terms of doing all the learning that I need to do. I did all the courses and now I'm doing the study guide. The study guide is actually the last thing I have to do before I actually take the test. So I could say maybe I'm above 30%, but I don't feel like, I don't feel like I'm there yet. So that's why I'm saying 30%. Just after I finish the study guide, I'm gonna do some practice tests. I'm gonna watch more YouTube videos, and then I will finally take that media buying test to see if I'm actually ready, that I learned something. Okay, so remember, my goal is to actually make some money from this by the end of this year. So it is time bound. By the end of this year, I want to have made some kind of money from this. It could be $10, $100, it doesn't matter. If I can apply the knowledge I learned to either make money for a business or for myself, that would honestly be the best case scenario. So that's my goal for this year. I want to have applied this knowledge and made some kind of money by the end of this year. And I think I'm about 30% there in terms of learning. So to get to 100%, I would definitely have needed to have made some kind of money from this. So I'm pretty satisfied with this goal. It's going pretty well, It's not rocket science, but it's also not that easy. You need to think, you need to be creative. And I've always thought maybe I'm not the most creative person out there, but I'm learning. And that's all that matters. Okay. All right. So my fourth goal of the year is to gain about 10 pounds of muscle this year. Now, out of all the goals that I set, this right here is probably the hardest one. After spending 2 years losing weight, I'm finally at a body fat percentage or at a weight where I'm comfortable, where I'm like, okay, maybe now I can slowly, very, very slowly build muscle, very slowly, gain some weight. So I went from over 94 kgs down to at least 60 kgs, right? So I lost a lot of weight, and I made very big mistakes in that process that costed me building muscle. I was not eating enough food, I was not sleeping enough, and I was overtraining. And because of that, I definitely didn't build as much muscle as I would have liked. Honestly, I built barely any muscle. So the focus from now on is to build as much muscle as I can, as slowly as I can, putting weight on as slowly as I possibly can. So right now, my current weight is about 62 kgs. After I lost the weight down to 60 kgs, I built back up my calories to maintenance. And because of that, I gained some water weight, and who knows, maybe a little bit of fat as well. So I went from 60 kgs to 62 kgs. I do not count this weight in aspects of my goal. So my goal is to bulk up to like 66 or 68 kgs. That's the highest I would go. After that, I would probably do a mini cut and then get right back into the bulk. So that's my goal this year. My goal maximum is to bulk up to about 68 kgs. Who knows? Will this be 5 pounds of muscle? Honestly, probably not. This is definitely a goal that is maybe not as achievable as I would like. But I guess we could just say 10 pounds in terms of weight. But I'm trying to build as much muscle as I possibly can. And I want to get to this weight by September of this year. So for the remainder of the year, I can go into a cut until December and then get back right into a bulk when January comes around. So that's the plan. The plan is to build up my weight to 68 kgs by September. After that, I will cut for October, November, December, get back down to 10% body fat, and then get right back into the bulk again in January. So that's my plan now. Bulk, cut. But the plan here is to do it as slow as I possibly can. Because I tried to bulk before and I gained an insane amount of fat. I gained so much fat. I made so many mistakes. So my goal now is to do this as slowly as I can. So my current weight, 62 kgs, about 62, 63 kgs. That's where my weight is flying around right now, 62, 63. So yeah. So I would put this progress level at about 10%. I have not gained any muscle yet. I have not gained any weight yet. But honestly, I feel better. I've decreased my training load. I'm sleeping a lot more and I'm eating a lot more food now. So I feel good. So I definitely feel like this will be a success. I feel like I could do this, more rest, more sleep, more food. So yeah, this goal so far, definitely feeling good about it. So we will see where we are in September of this year. So gain weight as slow as I possibly can and then cut after that. So that is my fourth goal. All right, so my last goal of the year is to save at least 200K in new Taiwanese dollars by the end of this year. And out of all the goals I have, this is probably the worst one. I honestly thought it'd be pretty easy. Just put some money aside every month, that's it, you're good. But yeah, things just come up. The thing about money is things just come up. Family emergencies, things break in the house. I dropped my phone the other day while shooting content. So my screen protector is all messed up. I need to replace that. So things just always happen. So my goal is to save 200K. This 200K will actually serve as my emergency fund. So that's my goal, to save this year. So this year I want to build an emergency fund, and then next year I want to start investing in other things so that I am not living in a state of fear all the time. What if I lose my job? What if this thing breaks? Or what if I break a leg? So, because I am living in a foreign country, so I need to have as much money as I possibly can at all times. So this goal right now, I would put my progress on this goal at about 20%. I have some money saved, but things just keep coming up and eating into my savings. But I would still put this at about 20%. So I am doing decent, but this year started on a terrible note. I had to move. I had to buy new appliances for my new apartment, new bedding. I had to pay a huge deposit on my new apartment. So yeah, this year started on a very, very bad note, and I'm still recovering from that. But so far, I would still put it 20%, not bad. Definitely some improvements to be made. And yeah, so these are my goals for the year. And honestly, I am making progress. I am making more progress than I've ever made in my life in terms of goals. Because I have set goals before, but I never sat down and thought to myself, okay, let me track these goals. Let me write these goals down. I just thought to myself, man, I want to lose weight. I never did. It took me a long time to lose that weight. But before I finally lost that weight, I also had that goal. I was like, I would like to lose weight, but I never said how much weight, by when I want to lose it. I never tracked anything. I literally weigh myself every single morning now to track my weight. So if you want to be successful in any of your goals, you definitely have to track everything. Literally track everything. For my weight, I track my food, I track my weight, I track my workouts, I track everything. I will not leave anything to chance. I need to be as successful as I can in terms of achieving these goals. So that's why it's the 3rd of March. I'm checking on my goals. How am I doing? How am I doing? How am I doing? I will keep updating this goal tracker every single quarter of the year. So I'll be back here at the end of June doing the exact same thing, tracking my goals, seeing how far I'm going, how far I've come. And hopefully by the end of this year, I will at least be at 90% on all my goals. So I encourage you to do the exact same thing. If you have a goal, write it down, track it, make sure you're doing everything on a daily basis to achieve that goal. So that's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next video.